fossil fuels, they take a quite important role in our society. For many years, we have been using our abundant source of fossil fuels to harness its power and convert it to electricity for our daily needs, allowing us to live a more carefree life that was never thought of before, and to create a better world for our children to live in. And yet, we would never know what was waiting for us at the other side of the door.
Yeah, well, I think most people, when they think fossil fuels, I picture that little cartoon in Jurassic Park when they're explaining how they got the dinosaur DNA, but they're showing you, dinosaur decomposing sort of, and then suddenly it turned to oil, and then we pull that oil out. Like that's, I think, what most people, in the most simplistic way, think it's something like that. But I'm going to let you start. That would be good. So, what are fossil fuels?
Fossil fuel.
Fossil fuels. Fossil fuel.
Fossil fuels are the high-energy hydrocarbon derived from ancient life.
It's organic material that's been exposed to heat and pressure in the Earth's crust over hundreds of millions of years. That could mean a lot of different things: oil, coal, natural gas.
Now we dig or drill this stuff out of the ground, and because it has been accumulating for a long time, initially there was a lot.
Scientists estimate that we've consumed about 40% of the world's oil. At this rate, we'll run out of oil and gas in 50 years or so, and in about a century for coal.
As we continuously use these fossil fuels, we are producing vast quantities of pollution that are affecting many of the wildlife economies out in the world, and in some cases, destroying them completely as well. Not to mention, many workers, who have dedicated their lives to harvest them in the process, are slowly being harmed by the dangerous job conditions, and, by even breathing the air surrounding them, they, eventually, succumb to illness.
Men and boys work 10 to 14-hour days in the mines, braving constant darkness, hazardous breathing conditions, and frequent cave-ins.
500 mountains have already disappeared, along with the habitats for hundreds of species.
On April 20th, 2010, an oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico exploded, spewing thousands of barrels of oil into the coastal waters a day. 5 years later, 2 to 6% or possibly more of the oil still lays on the ocean floor.
Burning coal generates smog, which can cause asthma attacks, chest pains, and breathing problems. In fact, 1 out of 10 children in the U.S. suffers from asthma, and it's the #1 reason kids miss school due to illness. The pollution from burning coal leads to 12,000 emergency room visits and more than $100 billion in health costs every year.
Although fossil fuels are our current main source of energy, we are not constricted to make it our only energy source for eternity. Besides, there are other types of energies that are cleaner, environmentally friendlier, and more renewable, we can start using.
By definition, we must move to renewable energy. I think people sometimes, how can one argue against that? Because to argue for it is to say that we will eventually run out of energy and die. Or civilization will collapse. So obviously we must find ways to produce energy in a renewable manner.
The 3 energies that are well known to be clean, and that could possibly rival that of fossil fuels, are no other than solar energy, wind energy, and hydroelectric power. With the implementation of these big 3 renewable energies, we can eventually start implementing their uses in order to replace the finite quantity and dirty energy that are fossil fuels.
The main topic was what had happened to the price of sustainable energy.
We have made a good start. There has been remarkable progress on many fronts. The fall in prices for renewable energy, especially solar energy, and the emergence of new business models are bringing sustainable energy within reach.
Renewable energy has many benefits that can make the substitution of fossil fuels worth our while. For starters, they create no direct greenhouse gases and are safe for the environment at the same time. They can help prevent the manifestation of disease we get by decreasing the pollution inhabiting our air, and because of their never-ending supply they provide to us, they are considered a reliable source of power.
Divestment is a very simple idea. You just take your money away from companies that are involved in extracting fossil fuels.
If you want to do something about climate change, you want those fossil fuel companies to stop burning the reserves they've got, and you want them to behave differently. You do that by refusing to buy their shares.
Divestment says we do not accept your premise, we do not like what you're doing.
And in practical terms, it's about moving your money away from the problem and towards the solution.